where adulting unfolds, where adulting...
We're not here. Wow. We're gone. We're gone. I hate this thing. Do it one by one. You like that? We're popping up one by one. I forgot to do studio mode. It ruined. Squandered. Look at this. So we got the comments going on the bottom, the with the and you can read it today, which is good. Oh, they can't hear you. Sorry.
The hearts, they can't hear me.
No, now they can hear you. Hey guys, don't forget to hit like. Yeah, please.
Not just the heart, the thumbs up.
Yeah,
thumbs
hit that thumbs up
on
button.
there.
Yep. And for a second I
Whatever
thought
it
you
is.
guys learned how to become invisible like John Cena.
Little Jimmy.
Man. Little Jimmy. Oh man. Before we get started here tonight, even though we already did get started, I just
Yeah,
want to
we are
thank the
started.
three of you. I
This
just want
is
to thank
live.
the three of you for being great friends. It's occurred to me in the last
The three people in the chat.
No, you
us
guys.
three.
No, you guys.
Oh,
No, you
oh.
guys. You guys. Good. It's occurred to me how hard it is to find good friends, to find friends that are like actual good friends. Thank you guys.
I thought we weren't allowed to find new friends.
That's
That's why
We'll cut
Scott
this.
brought me on.
We'll cut
No
that.
new friends. He can bring his son
So-
on.
Yeah, it's a loophole. It's a
Yeah,
loophole.
we'll cut that. But no, seriously, Scott and I talk on a daily basis. Nick and I, we've become close friends since we've been doing this, and we FaceTime the
hour-long
other night for like an hour and a half. Darren texted me this evening to ask how we were doing because of our little hospital stint this morning. Which for the people watching live, I said hospital this morning. Everything's fine. It was an overreaction on the doctor's end, rightfully so.
Okay, can
But-
we talk about that for a minute, please?
Sure. Welcome to No New Friends After Dark. I'm your host on this journey, Chris. Alongside me in the virtual Sandpiper Vacation Studio is Scott, our emotional support gay Nick, and the wise man Darren. Now go ahead, Scott. Now you can talk.
Now we
Okay, so I'm doing TikTok live at Universal today.
Oh,
And
okay.
you put on there, that you're at the ED.
Hello from the ED.
Hello from the ED.
Yes.
Now, I read this, and you pin it.
I
You
did, I
put it up
pinned
there
it.
so I can see it, and I read this, and I think you're joking around.
Yeah.
So I was like, hello from the ED.
He said thoughts and
Ha, ha, ha.
prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I
Oh
said
no!
thoughts
You know
and
what?
prayers.
I didn't pin it. Somebody else did.
I
Okay.
pinned it. I thought it was a bit.
I know.
I thought it was a bit too. I
and-
thought it was a
You never
bit.
know.
And
You
I
never
did
know.
I did it on purpose because I'm sitting there. Emily's in the hospital bed, and I show her you're live, and I said I'm gonna say hello from the ED, and Scott's gonna gloss over it and laugh at it, and I'm gonna make him feel bad later. And I was going to send a selfie of me and her in the hospital room to the group chat, and be like the awkward moment when Scott glosses over the fact that I said I'm in the emergency room. So it was all to make Emily laugh. It was all to make Emily
Well,
laugh.
and you did make me feel bad because then you text
Yeah, I did.
us.
I did.
And I can see the text as I'm live, and you're like that moment when Scott glosses over the fact that I said I'm in the ED. There's something wrong, and I'm like, oh shit. And Darren's like, did you see this? And I'm like, yeah. And
He's so sad that he's just frozen there. Can you still hear us, Scott?
Nope, we
All right.
lost
So anyway, for those
Oh,
of you
he's
who
gone.
for those of you who are watching, Emily's heart rate. Emily's 35 weeks pregnant. Her heart rate randomly spiked yesterday when she was at work when she was resting. Today it spiked again when she was resting. So there's a 24-hour call line that you can call if you have any questions, which they encourage you to call if you have any questions. Hey, don't Google, don't do this. Call us. So we call. And they were like, "Yeah, just come on in." So I'm thinking, "Oh." So I even asked her. I said, "Do you want me to come with you?" Because I thought it was just the doctors that she was going to. And
Oh, he's like gone.
yeah, he's
Oh,
back.
there he is.
He's back.
Thought it was just the
I don't know.
doctors that you're good. I thought it was just the doctors that they said come on in for, and so I said that's why I said, do you want me to come with you? And she said yes. All right, so I'll get dressed. And I said, so we're going to the doctor. She said no, we're going to the hospital. I was like, oh, well, that's. I feel weird for
Because
asking.
she's far
you
enough
if-
along.
Yeah,
she's far enough
well,
along
you
that,
weren't
that-
there when I was explaining this, but there's a 24-hour call line that they call if you have any questions. And I thought they were telling us to come into the doctors, but no, it was like come into the hospital, come into triage in the emergency room. So, so anyway, it was all. They did all these tests, and we were there for 4 hours. Did all these tests and everything. Took her vitals, took her blood work, this, that, the other thing. Monitored the baby. Everything was fine.
So was there something happening that caused you to call the doctor?
Emily's heart rate spiked yesterday when she was just resting, and then again
Okay.
today. So she was like, they stressed to you, call us if you have a question. Don't Google it.
Yeah.
So we call and yeah, come to the hospital, which just made it worse.
Oh,
so
for someone who has anxiety, yes,
so
absolutely.
so we go there and they do all these tests, and the OB doctor came in. And it was like, oh yeah, you know, heart palpitations are normal up all the way up until birth. I was like, you couldn't have just said it on the phone.
Yeah, but they've got to test that.
But
They've
but
got,
but
like,
couldn't they have said, because we called the OB, couldn't they have just said that's normal, but come in so we can test you, instead of us just being scared for a couple hours?
no, because if they would have said it's normal, but come in so that we could test you, you guys would have been like, eh.
And they also
it's
wouldn't
fine,
have
we'll
gotten
let
that
it
like
ride.
$8,000
It's probably a
payday.
faulty light in the check engine light.
Yeah.
He's still got a bill in the mail.
Yeah, that's the
probably.
thing. It's like, yeah, it's like, should we tell her this, or should we charge them $8,000? Let's charge them $8,000. I would have done the same thing. But so anyway, so everything is fine.
But I did feel bad.
Yeah,
because
you
I'm
shouldn't
like,
have.
"Ugh."
You shouldn't have. And that was the point, is I wanted you to, but as in a joking way. It made her
Okay,
laugh.
You tell me not to feel bad, but literally every time Nick has a crisis, I'm like, hey guys, make sure you check my live hour, going live, because I missed the crisis. And I'm like, hey guys, going live.
Yeah, well, that's your fault. You dug yourself.
Or
If-
like
if-
yesterday when you're like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm just tired. And you're like, oh, that's good.
I was saying
so-
that's good that you're okay. And then I said, I'm sorry that you're tired.
If you felt so bad, did you check in on him later?
I
in the
did.
day? Ooh, did you?
100% I did. Didn't I?
It was on the way home. It was on the way home. But you didn't send me a genuine text like the wise man did. You said, sorry, I don't want to get in trouble with you for, not caring. So just, wanted to reach out.
One
At 12:56 p.m., I texted you. I just want to make sure you guys were okay. I saw your text. At first, I thought you were joking. I'm so sorry. And you're like, hey, oh, I tried to call you.
You did try. I ignored it.
Per
the,
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 usual.
the mood was an all vibes were at an all-time low in the car.
Yeah.
Vibes were
And
at all-time low.
you're like, hey, sorry, can't talk. It's okay. Everything is fine. We're all good. And then I was like, yeah, the doctors tend to create panic. Just wanted to check on you. I'm so sorry I glossed over it. I thought it was a joke. And then you explained what you explained at the beginning, that you were setting up a joke.
Yeah. Took a great nap after. It was a good reason to take a nap.
I took a glorious 45-minute nap today.
It's like
I'm
socially
so
acceptable
jealous of
after
you.
Trauma.
Oh my god.
I'm
Such
so
a long
jealous.
day today.
You've been go, go, go all day, and you've made how much? 17 cents?
Less.
It was fucking miserable.
I was so tired. I mean, Darren got to my house at 7:45 this morning, and we were nonstop from 7:45 for 12 hours. For 12 hours, we were nonstop.
And for reference, I got 3 hours of sleep the night before.
Oh my
That's
god!
on you.
My
That's
own
on
fault.
you.
But I only got 3 hours of sleep.
Why?
because I
Why
was-
did you only get 3 hours? That's my next question.
I was at a friend's house until like 2,
Okay.
and then I got home at 3, and then I was like, all right, well, I
But
guess
you
I'll
knew
be
you
up.
had to work this morning.
What?
You
I know.
knew you had to work
Yeah,
this morning.
I knew it was gonna be. Yeah, I knew I was fine through Universal. It was after Universal when I crashed. It was rough.
Yeah, that was rough because I usually take a nap after the parks.
Mhm.
I took a nap after my 4-hour hospital stay. I can consider it a hospital stay for myself too, because it's my child too. So it's like I was basically admitted as well.
No cowboy hats, Jaws. I didn't get any cowboy hats today.
No.
I did get one couch potato.
You got more than one couch potato. You got like 2.
Oh, then I owe someone 10 jumping jacks.
You did 10 jumping jacks at the beginning and 10 jumping jacks while we were looking at HHN merch.
Did you hit 50,000 to do push-ups?
Yes.
He did do push-ups.
How many did you do?
10.
Was
Did
he
your
able
heart rate
to?
go up?
Yeah.
They were like little bitch push-ups. but he did them. It was like not all the way. Like he didn't go all the way down.
Honestly,
But
No, I can't go
Easily.
all the way down. There's no way I'm getting up. I've set myself up for this because now this has kind of become a little bit of a popular bit, and I don't know how I'm going to sustain this during the summer when it's like 1,000 degrees outside.
Yeah. You know what you got to do when it comes summer is motivate Scott with food. I want to talk about this just real quick. I want to talk to Scott
he
about
doesn't.
it,
He
but he
doesn't
was
care about
gone.
food. He doesn't feed us. He didn't-
Alcohol. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I have to-
alcohol, yeah,
There you go.
So
There you
the 76ers were down.
Hold on. I did feed you guys today, by the way.
Yeah, while
Let
you
the
were
record show.
While you were drunkenly watching the Blues Brothers.
You ate. You're welcome.
The
You gotta eat.
76ers were playing in a tournament playing game today, right? And they were down 59-48 in the third quarter. They weren't looking good. They had more boos at halftime than threes. So the Sixers arena, they have this promotion that if the opposing team at any time during the game misses 2 free throws in a row, they get a free chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. They show their ticket. So
Oh, I love that promotion.
So that's what I'm saying. Motivate Scott with food. So a tweet goes out at 8:51 in the third quarter. Free chicken might have just saved the Sixers season. The crowd could not have been any louder when he missed the second free throw. For the rest of the game, the crowd was wild. The Sixers went on a 57-45 run to win the game.
No.
Yes, because of the other team missing and winning
Wow.
them free chicken.
So they beat the Heat.
They beat the Heat.
I love that.
So for Scott to beat the Heat this summer, you got to dangle some chicken tenders in front of him.
Have some chicken nuggets hanging from the
You do these 10 push-ups, you get one chicken nugget.
But Chris, I'm not motivated by food. I know I'm
Your
fat
physique
and
says otherwise.
I'm fat, and I don't quite understand why. Like when I'm at the parks, Darren, how often the only time I eat is if like I'm forced to let them eat, and then I'm like, well, while I'm here, I might as well eat.
Either then, or you're just so drunk, you're like incoherent, but you don't get that drunk while you're streaming. That's the problem. Is
You missed last week.
Well, I did miss last week, but you like balance the line. You're like right about to cross it, and then you're like, okay, I need to drink water. So you can
Yeah, I
stream.
get. Yeah, I push it.
So, drinking, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to find out. There was this stat of beer.
So I am really excited about the NBA playoffs. My Orlando Magic
Sport.
Nobody cares.
are a mid-seed, super exciting. But
I have a
I was going
question
to go
about
to a
that.
game, but none of them align correctly with my schedule.
I have a gay question.
Oh.
We were talking
Yeah.
about basketball, right?
Yeah,
Is it March Madness, but it's April?
this is okay. March Madness is college.
That's a good question. That's a good
Oh,
question,
okay.
actually.
Yeah, March Madness is college, and
So confused.
NBA playoffs is professional.
How many beers do you drink a day at the parks?
Ooh, that's a good question. Today
We
you had
should
like
keep-
today you had 5.
Oh,
do
I
keep
had
track.
way more than 5, dude. I
Oh, well,
started.
then you
let's-
got some when I wasn't paying attention. You got the Miller Lite.
We can count them. I did the Miller Lite to start the day.
Mm-hmm.
Then we were in Marvel, and I got a Bud Light.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get anything in Tune? I
No.
did not.
You didn't get anything in Kong. You didn't get anything in at JP. The next beer
I
you
got
got
one
was
in-
at Hogsmeade, at Hogshead.
Hogsmeade.
And
What
then
size are these? 16 ounces?
16, 20 ounces. They vary.
Yeah, 16 or 20. Yeah.
And then you didn't. That's why I don't know the number, because you didn't drink again until 11 when
This was all
Backwater
before
opened
11.
and you abandoned me. Yeah, this was 3 before 11 a.m.
Okay, then I had 4 at Backwater. Yeah, I had 1
Oh,
at Backwater.
there's an ad right now.
No, Skipped.
Skip the ad.
No, skip.
We're back.
Okay, so 4 at Backwater. Then
You had 4 beers at Backwater?
no,
No, it's fourth
that was
beer,
number
fourth beer.
4.
That was a joke.
That was number 4, and then we went to the studios.
And then you didn't have. You had like a half a one. It was like a small one at Finnegan's. They didn't give
So
you a
that's
full.
5.
Yeah.
And then Shea Alcatraz was 6.
Oh yeah, you did get one at Shea.
Was that it?
Yeah, that was it. You
He
didn't
had
get
6
another one.
beers.
Okay, so I was off by 1.
So 6 beers, 16 to 20 ounces apiece, right?
Hmm.
So, according to my math and what I researched, I found out why you're overweight, Scott. You ate you ate the carb and calorie equivalent. You drank the equivalent of eating over a loaf of bread.
But I'm doing jumping jacks. It's fine.
You ate a ton.
You ate roughly a loaf of bread today. So you didn't eat much, but you did drink a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay, it didn't stop there because once we got to Rachel's thing, I had
Oh, I
two
lost.
Peronis.
Yeah, you had two Peronis, and then you had a
Oh,
Bud
those are
Light
good.
at
Oh yeah, and a Bud Light.
yeah.
Pepperoni.
So you're going on a loaf and a half.
Jaws Robert, they closed the actual Shays, but they have like a pop-up bar open.
That's closed for good. I heard on Remy's Roundtable.
It's
anyway.
it is not closed for good.
But anyway, so we start this episode off, and you guys are asking how I am, and then Scott immediately just goes and starts talking about himself. Nick,
Sounds right.
you had quite the eventful week this week.
It's been a rough few weeks, months. I don't even know what day
Years.
it is anymore. It's
I don't.
been a year.
Yeah, so let's try to keep this episode about 30, 40 minutes. So let's just break it down for. I hope
have 4
you can
minutes
fit it.
left.
Yeah, I hope you can. I hope. No, I hope you can fit in what happened in the last week in this episode. If we go back months, we might be able to do a whole podcast series. Actually,
Is that a dog waffle?
I saw it last night, and I thought he was eating like an Eggo or something.
This is
Yeah,
a
what-
this is a because you know how I said I'm going to call my
Which
daughter
way is
11.
Ants in his
Oh, it's the
room?
Poppet.
Yeah, you know how I said I'm going to call my daughter 11. So they had like a Stranger Things 11 Eggo Pop It.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was like, this will be her first toy, but I opened it.
That worked out well.
I was like, the age doesn't really add up.
You're like Sheldon.
Thank you.
So we talked about it before. I've missed a few podcasts because of my health this
Mhm.
year. I was in the ED, ER, whatever you want to call it. Like, when was that? Like, end of I don't even know.
It was a couple times, wasn't it?
I was live. I don't know.
Sometime February or early March or something like that. So, I've been dealing with a lot of very low energy levels
Mhm.
lately, and we finally got a sleep study scheduled.
Oh,
and
thank
I got the
goodness.
results back. That the sleep study came back that I have sleep apnea.
So now you get to wear the mask. You get to be Darth
No.
Vader at night.
I get to wear the mask.
Sean probably thinks that's hot.
Maybe, I don't know. He's usually asleep before I even have it on anyway. He's probably passed out already just watching us. So that's good news, I guess, is that we might have an answer.
Yeah,
Hopefully
definitely.
that solves everything. And everything I've heard from people that wear the mask and stuff has been very supportive. But here's the issue. So I got these results back through the MyChart app, which I just saw a TikTok about this last night. I'm like, I don't know how I went from MySpace to now MyChart. It's like my daily thing.
We were on my chart the whole time. We were just refreshing my chart at the hospital today,
Yeah.
waiting for the blood work results to come back in.
Exactly.
Then we're analyzing,
Exactly.
pretending like we know what we're looking at.
Yeah, because those results come in, and then 3 hours later they come in to tell you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
what's
Oh
happening.
yeah. Yeah.
So you kind of know.
Yeah. They come in with
That's-
the results like, yes, we know.
And that's
We're
the issue
well aware.
is I get this MyChart update, and then I get a phone call from the sleep place, and they're like, "We need you to call us." So I call them back, and they tell me that I have sleep apnea, and they need to get me in for my onboarding or whatever
Onboarding.
you want to call it. I was like, "Okay, that's fine." I was like, "What's the soonest available?" And she's like, "June."
June.
June.
Jesus.
And I'm
You
like,
are sick and you need this device.
I'm sick. You're basically telling me that I don't breathe anymore, and
No big
I
deal.
wait till June. So she's like, "Well, we can do an online session in May 13th, which is still a month.
still a
It
long
was like a month
time.
away from when she told me. So I struggled with a lot of anxiety from it, just because I'm like I
Sure.
said, I'm like, they're telling me that I'm not breathing while I'm sleeping. I couldn't figure out what these numbers even were. They didn't even tell me like how many times I stopped breathing or if it's like good or bad. So I'm just like freaking out here, and it finally just started spiraling downhill to a point that my energy levels were just continuing to drop again. after I found out this news, and the day before, last Wednesday when you guys were recording, so last Wednesday I basically had like 2% energy battery left in my body, and every time it like recharged, I got to go to the bathroom, and I passed back out. Like, it was awful. I felt like I was on my deathbed, basically. And part of that too was also just my mental health, just spiraling downhill from all of that happening, on top of some work stuff happening.
Well, I'm sure like during all this, like all of your agents are probably giving you like no problems at all, and
yeah, everything's fine at work.
this is running like super smooth.
Yeah, I mean, normally my agents are really good in understanding, and part of the issue I didn't have on that Wednesday, I had no energy to text anybody back. Like, it took me everything just to even keep my eyes open.
I feel that.
Barely keep my eyes open. And so the day before, I had an issue, unfortunately, with one of my agent employees. I promoted somebody on my team to become a social media manager for us, to kind of help take it over. And this person made a
So
post.
be careful with that. Scott does that like monthly, and then it doesn't hold up.
Yeah. So this person made a post on our social media, Sandpiper Vacation social media, as well as in our group, our agency group page.
Okay.
Basically just saying that there is a travel tip out there, a travel hack, that if you happen to be prone to motion sickness, here's a couple hacks or tips for you. One of them is eating a green apple.
Okay.
The other one is ginger ale.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Have you guys heard this before?
Oh, absolutely. My whole life, you have an upset stomach, you drink ginger ale.
Yeah.
The hospital, you drink ginger ale.
Yeah. When I was a kid, like, for me, mine was Sprite.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my parents taught me, so I drank Sprite whenever I was sick, and for me, that made me feel better. I don't know if it was a proven tip or anything. It's not medicine. It's just literally a soda.
Yeah, it's the carbonation helps with the upset stomach, and then especially ginger ale. It's ginger, which helps with everything.
Yeah. One would think that, and my person that did the social media found this research on a travel website where a lot of information is posted. Unfortunately, one of my agents, I'm not going to mention any names, but he...
But Mark. I just, if you're watching, that was a random name. I hope I didn't get it correct.
We don't have Mark, but if you go on our agency website, sandpipervacations.com, I'm sure you can find out who it is. But so this person is married to a doctor. And
Oh God,
Oh,
we know about
Jesus.
these medical professionals.
Yeah.
You know, they know everything.
It's worse than Mary.
I wasn't gonna name any names, but
I'm not saying any names. But
That was just a
Mary-
random
worse than
name.
Mary. It wasn't Mary. But so this guy just throws a hissy fit, just basically saying this is false information, that my husband's a doctor, my clients are doctors and nurses, and they will laugh at this comment. And I'm like, calm down. Like, this is a travel tip. This is what we do for a living. This is
you're not
proven.
curing cancer over
Yeah,
there.
I'm
You're
like,
giving
I'm not-
travel tips.
I'm not saying go take aspirin or anything like that. Like, literally drink ginger ale. So I had an hour-long conversation, argument about ginger ale and why this post
That
should be
is
allowed
insane.
on our Facebook page.
So,
Yeah, and we had the receipts to prove that ginger ale has ginger in it. There's some ginger ales that don't have ginger in it that are like just the cheap brands.
Yeah.
Like the stuff on the gun at like a bar, like that's not ginger ale.
right.
It's literally just what, Sprite or soda and Coke or whatever mixed together. So that just, we ended the conversation. Everything seemed fine, I thought. But to me, mentally, I was just drained from that.
Sure.
On top of physically drained, and it just led me down more spiral. And after that, my mind, with somebody with anxiety, everything just started coming in negative throughout my entire life, and I felt like I was just going backwards, and that's where my body started shutting down.
Yeah, and rightfully so. It's like I always say when it rains it pours. I made that up, and
It was you.
it's
Put it on shirt.
I feel like whenever you're dealing with something, it's never just one thing. It's always just, it comes in waves. Like, it's like you can't just have one problem.
It comes in
focus
waves.
focus tsunamis. and you can't just focus on one issue. Darren and Scott, have you ever had that issue with an employee, especially, where you just argue with them about they bring up just the most nonsensical stuff?
All the time. Do you not have that issue?
I do. I just don't want
I
to
mean,
talk
Scott's-
about
Oh
it.
no, I'm looking at Scott.
Oh.
I'm
I
looking
was
at
gonna
Scott.
say his wife. I thought.
Now let's talk about that for a second. Yeah, actually, peeling back the curtain, back when we had the original co-host of the show on, we used to fight about just some really dumb things.
You fought with Craig.
Talking about Mary.
Oh.
We, especially around, I won't name which sponsor, but we brought on a sponsor, and,
Oh
and
yeah.
I was
Oh, yeah.
super excited about this sponsor, and she was not, and like we just got into this really dumb fight about it, and I hate that. I hate that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not a very confrontational person. In fact, I avoid it. I never actually kicked Mary off the podcast. I just didn't send her the link anymore.
This is true.
But yeah, that's and that was awful. That was awful because I don't want to fight with anybody, especially for something like this. And then there was another time that we fought over something, and it was mostly like I didn't run things by her first. But in fairness, she was never really here.
Yeah.
But it's the worst. It's the worst, and like that, I think that when I know I'm going to have confrontation with people, or I have to have confrontation, or something is going to lead to confrontation, that is the closest that I get to anxiety. To be honest, like that's, and again, we've talked about this before in After Dark 1.0. I understand that I will never understand what you all go through with the anxiety and depression to the extent that you go through it. So I would never compare what I go through to anything that you guys do, because I know it's completely different.
Yeah.
Do I get sad? Do I get depressed? Yes. Do I have anxiety about certain things? Yes, but it's never a crippling thing where I guess I just don't care enough to let any of that shit bother me. No, I shouldn't say any of that shit bother, but I don't care enough to really go down that spiral. But I feel like that's the closest that I do get, is when there's a confrontation, or when there's something going on, like when my daughter gets in trouble, and now I have to deal with that. But like, my wife is very militant and I am not, and so there's a certain way that my wife thinks that I should be dealing with it, and a certain way that I want to deal with it, and that creates some anxiety. But anyway, to answer your question, Chris, yes, I deal with that with employees.
And you bring up people that hold on one second. So
Sorry for chat. No anxiety about using the credit card, but I do have anxiety when Chris revealed how much money I'd spent on TikTok. There was a lot of anxiety surrounding if she ever finds out how much money I've spent on TikTok.
Oh, so I shouldn't have told her today when we had a private conversation? It's a joke. It's a joke.
Scott just turned even whiter
Wow.
than he usually does.
He is.
Oh
This is how you
my
get
god.
fired. This is how you get fired from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people just they don't. It doesn't matter how dumb an argument is. They just want to be right, and they will lie, even if it means them, continuing the argument. People just love to argue just for the sake of arguing.
Yeah, it's basically what it is, and it's not the first time that this has happened with this person. Like, like Scott kind of said too, like anytime this person texts me or calls me, I get anxiety before I
Oh,
answer the phone.
I feel that.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's one of those things, and it's like they're very all over the place. Sometimes they're a really, really amazing person and very compassionate, very like smart and helping me with my business. And then sometimes like they're yelling at me about ginger ale.
It's funny because like you see them phone calling you on the phone, and it gives you anxiety because you know they're not calling it like, hey, what's up? They're calling you with an issue.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they're not, or they're calling you with like bullshit that you're gonna have to solve, and it sucks because as much as you want to deflect, you have to solve it because you're the boss,
Hmm.
and that sucks sometimes, especially when it's over dumb stuff. Someone comes to you with an actual issue, yeah, it's stressful, but it's understandable. When someone comes at you like, this bitch has to take this thing down.
And it's not a 9 to 5 job either, where I can just shut my phone off. Like this message came in at like 5 p.m. Like
It's ridiculous.
It was going for a while, and sometimes I get messages on the week. I get messages on the weekends from my agents too, because we have clients. That's when most of our clients are traveling, so I need to make sure that if a flight gets canceled, that we are helping to make sure we get our clients to their destination. So obviously I'm going to answer the phone and respond back, but sometimes it's just over ginger ale.
Do you think that there's a competitive aspect to this, like he wants to be that person that's posting stuff instead of the person that you put in charge, and
Yeah, I had this person's been with me since I started my business
Mhm.
4 years ago. So they've caused some issues, but they've also are one of my biggest sellers. So they have a lot of really good clients. They get repeat clients, and I promoted them to be a manager at one point to help
wow.
manage some of my newer agents, and that didn't work out because of their personality. And it's just we have very different personalities. We come from completely different backgrounds, and when I started this business, I left my old job because it was a toxic environment.
Yeah.
I was making 6 figures at my old job
Hmm.
and doing virtually nothing to get
That's what
it-
Chris does.
to get that. Scott just put a ring on it so that he could get that, but but yeah, so I left that toxic environment because I wanted to start my own business. In a sense, like, yeah, I want to make money off of my business, but also I want a team that supports me and supports the business and isn't
Absolutely.
gonna talk down to their boss as well too, whether it be personal or business related. So.
Sure. Yeah. No, I understand that completely.
I just want employees that will text me back every once in a while.
Well, I do every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm dealing with that now too, Scott, with Chris not responding for a
Yeah.
couple days. So, which I kind of did the same thing to him.
I just
Meanwhile,
don't-
his best friend Darren.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I get a like he might not text me for a couple hours, but he texts me at least that
But
day.
listen, Darren knows when to get me. He knows where I am Monday nights from 8 to 11.
I know when to get you to. Like, I know that if it's late at night, Emily's asleep, you'll text.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that if it's like at the end of the workday, which for you is like, what, 2 o'clock?
Noon.
Yeah.
Like,
on
that
a-
I can usually get you. I know that once Emily is off of school, I can't get you.
Yeah. Until she goes to
But
bed.
now I still get sent to voicemail or left on red.
And luckily, Chris and I had a really amazing conversation. He's one of the first people I told about kind of what happened, and we had probably an hour-long
Mhm.
FaceTime chat about it, and the fact that I FaceTimed at 11 o'clock or midnight.
It was
or
very
whatever
late.
time It was very late.
It was very late.
You had a little to drink that night, and I had a lot of gummies, and it was very much needed. And it was nice because you and I both get each other from the anxiety standpoint as well
Yep.
as owning a business too.
Absolutely, which is a horrible combination. Why did we do this? It's a horrible
know.
combination.
Yeah.
But no, because owning a business is with anxiety is a blessing and a curse because you have the blessing of freedom. You don't have to be anywhere at a certain time for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So like you're not stuck in the confines of a classroom or a place of business, which stresses me out. I can't imagine anybody being stuck somewhere. But then there's also the stuff that you don't want to have to do, but you do it, and then at the end of the day, the good outweighs the bad. And look, you're having all the time you want with your daughter. You haven't being able to help raise her because you're working from home, and then the other aspect of your job, traveling and stuff. So it's like you have to remember that when all of the bad comes, that there's so much more good. And my dad struggles a lot with that. Because he's very high strung, and I always thought that I got my anxiety from my mom's side. Now I know it's definitely a mix. My dad always, if there's a problem, he always calls it an emergency. He's always like, freaking out about this and that. And thanks to Zoloft, to be completely honest with you, I've been able to think rationally about things. And when there's a flat tire in the middle of a route that one of my drivers are doing, it's not an emergency. It's an inconvenience, and the kids will get to school safely. And as long as everyone's alive and not hurt and okay, then it's tomorrow will be fine. If it's not an issue, we're gonna worry about next week, next month, next year. It's not an issue. So you have to remember that with all these things, because if you stress out about like something that's happening today that won't even affect you next week, it's just gonna eat at you and eat at you and eat at you. Because I used to do that, and I was depressed for a good 1 or 2 years, because when I first started the business, I was very stressed when I let everything get to me, and I worried about what I couldn't control instead of trying to take charge of what I could control. And now I'm in a much better place, a lot happier. But it took a while. Definitely took a while.
Yeah, it's kind of how, I mean, we've talked about my therapy journey before and how far I've come from that. And I don't think my issue that I dealt with last week with no energy wasn't the root of it.
You're right.
It
Right.
helped. I'm sure I aided in that, but it's like I remember texting somebody that day in that moment, and I was thinking, I'm like, we're gonna laugh about this later, about the fact that I got in an argument with somebody about fucking ginger ale.
Yeah, and you got to remind yourself that, because if not, it just like eats at you and eats at you. But you always, I'm glad you're taking care of the sleep apnea, this, that, you're figuring out what's wrong with you, because I always try to tell everyone this: you can't take care of other people unless you take care of yourself first.
Yep. And good thing is, like I said, there's been some positives out of it. I actually called 2 days later and was able to get my appointment moved up, so I have an appointment next Thursday now.
Oh,
sleep
wow,
apnea.
that's great.
Hell
So I don't have to wait until May now. So at least I got moved up to 2 weeks.
Yeah,
out versus
absolutely.
a month or 2 months. I had a great meeting with my manager from Disney yesterday, and basically he just told me I'm one of his favorites.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
for somebody to work for Disney corporate, and he manages basically 400 agencies in 3 different states. For me to be one of his top 11 agencies is a huge deal.
Yeah, that
The
is
fact I've only
huge. Wow.
been doing it for three and a half years. And it was awesome to hear that from him, and to see my numbers and all that. And then on top of it, I got a phone call from Virgin Voyages, and my manager from there was actually in town visiting some other agencies, and she's like, "Hey, I have some free time, and I really want to meet up with you because I don't know when I'm going to be back." She lives in New Jersey, so it's awesome to have that positive influences out there.
Yeah,
On top of
absolutely.
the negatives, and that's why I wanted to be here tonight as well too. I had another crap day. It was just nothing that sparked it.
Yeah,
per
yeah.
se. It was just one of those. So.
Wise man.
Yes. Oh, I'm
Were
not
you-
raising my hand. I'm trying to fix the lighting.
I was a little worried that you thought that you had to raise your hand to talk.
No.
But Nick, you also in your work world, you also had an exciting event to plan in both of our lives. Kind of.
I got you pregnant.
Congratulations.
Don't tell everybody yet.
My sister wants to do a destination wedding.
Yeah.
So
know,
I
it's
was
so-
like, Nick, can you do
so
this?
stoked
Because
to
she's
get that.
super, she's super
Yeah.
stressed. I was like, let me see if Nick can do this. Oh yeah, that's easy. I can do that.
Yeah. Destination weddings they're a huge deal. They're great, easy to do for the bride and groom, because there's really not much for them to do besides we'll reach out to the wedding coordinator at the venue
Yeah.
that we pick. It's just finding that right spot, and then I'll handle the rest of getting everybody there safely, and she can just relax on the beach, hopefully, and have some margaritas.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful for the person who is gonna have a 1-year-old traveling to Dominican Republic into a country that I found
Bro,
out
you
shares
chose
the-
not to pull out.
listen,
I don't wanna hear-
listen. My sister could have chosen a country that does not share the same landmass with Haiti. I did not know that. Nick, I assume you know that.
What about Haiti?
Shares the same island as
Oh, yeah,
Dominican
it does.
Republic. So
It
now
does,
barbecue. If he's listening to this podcast, he might be at my sister's wedding in the bushes, waiting for me to look. Oh my gosh, look at that gimp leg. He's gonna be an easy target.
You should just send him an RSVP.
Yeah, it does. It does share, unfortunately, the same islands, but they're been very protective and safe of it, so there's not been any
Cannibalism.
issues that
You could
I'm
say it,
aware of,
cannibalism.
so. But if there is, people seem to be enjoying the food at the resort. so I haven't heard any complaints about this.
Scott, you ever been to a destination wedding?
Yeah. Not like New Jersey.
Oh my god,
that was
wow. That was
I went to a destination wedding in New
so
Jersey.
unnecessary. It's not a
Um,
destination wedding. We are not on the same page here.
yeah. No, my sister got married at.
That's a final destination wedding.
My sister got married in Longboat Key, I think,
That
near
was like
Sarasota.
That was like
That
a
was-
3-hour drive. That's not a destination.
Forget
was
I
a
asked.
destination
Listen,
for our
forget I
northern
asked.
family.
I feel like destinations like outside
Wow.
the country.
Like we all had to stay at a hotel.
Okay, that's most weddings.
That's literally most weddings. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. King Mike says, "Don't mock New Jersey. New Jersey's awesome. New Jersey is the best state in the United States, hands down. It's the greatest state. It's the greatest state.
That's why.
Confident in saying that. Anyway, so you've never been to a destination wedding. Got it.
Apparently not.
Yeah. Nick, have you? 'Cause Darren, I'm sure you haven't.
I mean, like, I went to a wedding, like, everybody, like, nobody's family was from Boston, and we went up, like, everybody went up to Boston. I wouldn't count that as a destination
Oh,
wedding.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
I went to a
Thank you.
Boston wedding.
What Boston wedding did you go to?
Don't eat the nachos.
The what?
There's a whole episode.
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
episode,
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't
okay.
eat the
A-
nachos.
anyway, but I actually want to have a destination wedding. That's what my partner and I are planning.
What country?
Italy.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Wow!
Yeah.
That's like,
Wow!
Surprise.
Wow.
Wow!
well, Scott won't be there. But
No, but ritual.
Wait, did you just propose?
No, not yet.
I think you just did.
Yeah.
It's very easy. All you gotta do is just say hit play. You don't have to do anything extravagant, except for I guess spend a couple $1,000s on a ring. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Nick, you been to a destination wedding?
yeah, my cousin actually got married on
The hot one.
the-
Whoa. Rachel, did you hear that?
I'm allowed to look.
Yeah, but now it's online.
And she's also a lot younger than you. Well, not a lot younger,
He's
like
14.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
We got him.
She got married. We went on a cruise, so it was a group cruise, and then she got married on one of the islands.
Cruise weddings seem really cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. We had about 40 people on the cruise with us. We had family and friends, and the wedding was really good overall. Besides the fact that they had rum punch at the,
Oh, that's dangerous.
afterwards, and yeah, it was very dangerous because they had them in like gallons, and one was supposed to be marked non-alcoholic, and was supposed to be marked alcohol, and we didn't know which one was.
It was like
which.
Russian roulette.
So we found out which one had the alcohol, and there was a lot of people throwing up.
That's amazing.
Like people almost didn't make it back to the ship in time.
That is so funny.
And then 7 years later, she got divorced. So
Oh.
it worked out great.
Wow.
Well, shit.
We'll do it all again.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So we're actually she's planning a divorce cruise.
A divorce cruise.
Rain and cruise.
I love that. I love that. So I'm not all for these destination weddings, but what I do think I want to do is I think I'm gonna do a destination funeral.
Oh.
Yeah, Nick, I think there's a real market in doing destination life events, destination hospice, destination funeral, destination baptisms. I'm getting baptized in the Caribbean. So
Okay. Okay.
I think we gotta. We'll talk off air, but I definitely want you to arrange my my destination funeral.
Are we
Where-
spreading ashes or what, are you doing body?
I want to be shot out of a cannon.
Oh.
Yeah,
At
not
like a
not my ash,
at
my
like a circus,
corpse.
or-
So in the Caribbean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to get shot into Haiti, and then it just super green that way. That way, I would just become the circle of life.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll just pay for it now, and then when it happens, and then it's all paid for, and whoever really cared for me will be there, right?
Well, Scott
Yeah.
wouldn't make it that long, so.
No, no.
Yeah,
no,
I won't be
no,
there.
no. I
I'll
think-
bury him long before him.
hopefully- I'll bury. Oh well. On that note, Scott, you have any? Oh gosh.
Oh. Oh, if we need to
His ghost
take
rider
time.
was busy.
My dad was he was bragging about his koozie all day, and I meant to show him this one. I got it just for him. It says, "I have a tiny penis."
And those are now available for sale at podcast.com. It has an amazing drawing from a guy that's drew a picture on TikTok.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
true. Yeah, if you want a self-portrait, not a self-portrait, but a portrait of Scott drawn by somebody on TikTok, you can buy that now. It's a T-shirt or a mug. You know,
Does
if you want to drink out
TeePublic
of.
Do they do koozies? Because that's great. That's
No,
a,
they
that would have
don't.
been- ah.
I bought a No
Missed
New
opportunity.
Friends koozie for Scott and lost it. Yeah, it's that.
I thought you were
it's-
holding it out for ransom for your Halloween stuff that we bought 2 years ago.
It was 2 years. It was 2 years ago. No, if I find it, I'll send it to you. I'm a man of my
Perfect.
word. But I have no idea where it went. I went on Vistaprint and got a No New Friends album
It was
art.
really badass.
It's really
too.
cool. I used it once, I think. And I lost it. I have no idea where it is. But Scott,
Yes,
I don't have a koozie for you, but you have any summaries for us?
I do. I have quite a few. All right. When Nick was having his health issues, he said he did not have the energy to text anyone. However, he definitely sent Chris a few D pics. It starts not good. It gets better. I
Okay,
promise.
that's fine. You need a slow burn. It's okay.
Yep. At one point, Chris was talking about when employees come to you, you have to deal with it head on. Employees come at you.
Did I really say that?
Yeah. I thought we were talking about anxiety, not Nick's sex life.
Wow.
I want to officially welcome Darren as a member of NNF After Dark Live. Let's hear it for Darren, everybody.
Yeah.
Yay. Now, if I ever hear an unwanted noise again, you're out of here.
Thank God.
He's trying to get cut off already.
Now, you had your metal straw moment tonight, sir.
Yeah. What was
All right,
it?
Chris,
I don't even know what it
Somebody
was.
put it in the chat. I missed it. What was it?
I missed it too, but I wrote a joke
Oh
about it.
no, he was commenting on me saying I told Rachel about TikTok.
Oh,
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, damn that. Anyway, Alex, cut that. Chris
Too soon.
said,
You have to send him a messenger pigeon. I'm sorry.
you know what? I'll come back to this one because that one's my favorite one. Oh, but I love this one too. Chris said, you can't take care of others before taking care of yourself first. I've put this advice into action several times, Chris. I think it's brilliant. Spoiler alert, my wife disagrees.
Stupid.
That was really good. That was really good.
Ju-
The more you think about it, the more.
Just like in NNF After Dark 1.0, Chris constantly reminds us that he owns his own business. Chris, how many times do we have to tell you that donating plasma once a week for $20 isn't owning a business? I don't know which one's better. Okay. Chris said he wants to have a destination funeral or baptism in the Caribbean. This is really good news, Chris, since this is the only body of water that can hold you. And lastly, Chris said thanks to Zoloft, he's able to think rationally. Says the same guy that freaked the fuck out about someone taking his trash out and bought a $300 security system. And those are my summaries.
Oh, thank you, Scott. I don't know why I thank you, but we did. We got a comment from in TikTok during TikTok Live saying I just listened to this week's episode and was crying laughing about Fleetwood Mac and the knife. And I was like, how drunk was I? What episode was? And then it came to me, and then I shut off the stream because I was just embarrassed. Anyway,
I'm proud to say that Ryan only wrote one of those.
Wow.
The rest were all me.
And he said one of them, meaning like he just put one period at the end. He says this was one long sentence. So for anybody watching on YouTube, this is the last ever No New Friends After Dark that you will be able to watch live, unless you're a paying member. If you're a Patreon member or a TikTok subscriber, then you're entitled to watch this show live and comment and be a part of the show. We take all your comments into account, and your comments are here on the screen. They live here forever, so don't say anything incriminating. Yeah, so this is going to be private. It will be published a few days after for everyone to see, but you won't be able to comment on it unless you're Remy and want to comment on the replay of the show and think it's live.
Sorry, real quick.
Go ahead.
I have one more summary.
Oh, please.
Oh.
This is from Ryan, and it's a
Okay.
really good one. Chris's body being shot out of a cannon will be the next solar eclipse.
That's really good.
2045.
That was
really
really
Sorry,
good.
Ryan. I apologize.
Oh, that is really good. So if you guys want to continue to watch the show live, I'm seeing in here most of you guys are subscribers or Patreon, whatever's, and friends with benefits.
And if you guys have topics you want us to talk about,
yeah,
serious topics or questions, we can do Ask a Gay.
absolutely,
Straight.
yep.
Talked about that before.
We need to do a Q and straight one of these weeks. We talked about that where Nick asks us straight questions.
Let me finish the logistics real quick of
Sure.
the After Dark. So essentially, we will still do After Dark live on YouTube, but it's going to be a private stream.
Yeah, it'll be a
for-
private stream, and the link will be sent to members only channel
in the Discord.
On Discord.
In the Discord. So if you want the link, make sure you sign up for our Discord. So only our paid members, the Patreon, TikTok, like you said, will be able to watch it live.
Yes. Yep.
Fear not, if you're not a paid member, you will be able to watch it later, but it's going to be a couple days. It's not going to be live. You're not going to be able to interact.
Right. Which is, I think, is most of the fun of the show, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And listen, we're yeah, hopefully stronger than my stream. We're always trying to find more ways to provide value to our friends with benefits, but also have that balance of growth also. So
Yeah, while
if
not
you guys have
compromising that,
suggestions
yeah.
on things that you want to see in our subscriber tiers or Patreon tiers, let us know. Let us know.
Yeah, it's something that it's hard. It's tough. It's tough to have that balance. And I think this is a really good compromise, moving the show to a live format, but doing this because this is we do this for you guys, and I think that you guys
Feet
deserve
pics will add value. Okay.
you guys
Blech.
deserve to be able to watch this live if you're a Patreon member. And if you're not, then you can still watch it, just not live and can't comment and be part of the show. But like Nick said, please
Patreon
send us
or
your
TikTok
questions or
subscriber.
TikTok. Yeah, paid members. We got to
Paid
keep saying that.
members.
Paid members, all paid members. I'll send them directly to Scott. Maddie said Maddie is catching on quick
Somebody-
to this podcast.
Yes, she is.
It's
Yeah.
Mr. Scott Matty.
And Maddie is definitely one of
Well,
us.
listen, we saw the real Mr. Scott today. It's Mr. Rachel.
Yeah, which
She
I
was in full
which
force
Emily
today.
was laughing when I commented and said, "Did you call it Mr. Rachel instead of Mrs. Rachel because you think men should be in power and not women?" But anyway, I just realized that if you go to sandpipervacations.com, they have a shop. I did not know you did TeePublic, Nick.
Yeah, I just added that last week. So
Oh,
there's a couple-
really? So
there's
it's
a couple
new.
Shirts on there, so I'm trying to create some new fun vacation shirts.
Yeah.
We've already sold a few, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, so head over to sandpapervacations.com, scroll down, you'll see where you can buy the t-shirts. You buy mugs and stuff too, which is cool.
I think I don't know if I still have it on there, but I had Moe's Melons on there.
You
which
do,
is,
mhm.
It's a breast cancer shirt for my mom's Race for the Cure that we do every year.
Oh, that's awesome.
So anybody that buys those will be donating some money back to charity. So,
Oh, cool. Very cool.
yeah, you
Awesome.
can have some boobies on your shirt.
Yeah, so guys,
Melons.
please check that out. The Virgin thing's really cool. Like if
I've-
I went on a
sold a lot of the
cruise,
Virgin ones already. Yeah,
if I went on a
Virgins are
cruise,
cool.
I'd buy that because it's just the little Sandpiper Vacations on. It's cool. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm working on a new Pride shirt coming out soon. So
If you have any ideas and don't know how to do it or put it together, send me like a picture of like what you like, and I'll try to put it together for you. I'd love to help you with that. I'm really bad at creating things for other people, but if you give me like direction, I can help you out with that. Love to help. Just gonna catch up on
There we
chat
go.
and then get a tie-dye one we can
we're talking about
match.
foot fetishes.
Oh, tie-dye Sandpiper shirt would be pretty sick, actually. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching live. If you want to watch live next week, you know what to do. Talks about it for the last 25 minutes. I don't want any messages. I like that. On behalf of Scott, the wise man, our emotional support gay Nick, I'm Chris. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, bitches.